Okay, it's March 9th, 2024. It's a Saturday, 86 degrees in the workshop. It's 1:32 in the afternoon. Dennis John Seatsma Productions, Homestead, USA. The subject of this video is my 1994 Astro van, and I got the oil pump out yesterday using a single 16 millimeter 6-point impact, and it was really torqued pretty tight, so I had to use the breaker bar. Anyway, I'll get into inspection on the oil pump later, but I really doubt there's anything wrong with it, because I put it in a bucket of oil yesterday and it started to pump right up. Turned it through by hand. So getting ready to pull the tappets, and got an egg crate here so I can put the tappets in as they came out, and there's a dozen of them. I was surprised on this RPO L35 4.3 liter V6 engine. They used roller lifters, which was a surprise, and I doubt we'll find anything wrong with the lifters either, but I haven't pulled them out yet to look at them. After that, we'll start working on getting the camshaft out and take a good inspection on it, see if there's any flat lobes. I doubt it. So far I can't find anything wrong. The only thing that's even mildly suspect, I can't find a cause for the noise that I showed in my video, January 14th, 2024 video, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. In that video, it's an hour-long video, but I show how perfect this engine is, and you know, the oil pressure, and I'm really at a loss. Now, audience, I don't know if I use this dead blow hammer to hit the piston at the top TDC or at the bottom of travel, or some other way, but got a nice dead blow hammer here for testing piston, you know, for rod damage. So far I can't find anything wrong. I'll pull out the lifters next, and so thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, it was a 13 millimeter for these lifter retainers, and they were torqued pretty solid too, so I'd use a breaker bar to get those loose. But again, everything I find is the way the factory put it together. I just don't find anything wrong so far. Thanks for watching. 2:14 in the afternoon, March 9th, 2024. It's a Saturday, about 87 degrees in the workshop, and haven't taken apart the oil pump yet. I doubt I'll find anything wrong with it. All the lifters are out. So far can't find anything wrong to cause that noise that was documented in the video diary dated January 14th, 2024, almost 1:29 in the afternoon. Fast forward to the 10-minute point in that video to see the noise, and the oil pressure was fluctuating, so don't have a reason for that yet, a cause. And next I'll start taking off the harmonic balancer and work my way into pulling the camshaft. Now, online I looked at Napa camshafts going for camshaft and lifter kits going for like $350, and online it's like $200 for Elgin aftermarket. So money does matter. So either I just put it all back together again with the same parts I have, or I start putting new parts in here. But I want to get the camshaft out to do a thorough inspection on it, look at the lobes and see if it's worth replacing the camshaft or not. And there's no ridges in the cylinder, and I can see the crosshatch still from the factory. I've owned this van since new. I did regular oil changes on it, And people, if you do oil changes, compare the used oil compared to the oil you're putting in and see how slick. When you rub it between your fingers, the new oil is really slick. There really is a good reason for doing regular service on an engine if you want it to last a long time. But I guess people trade vehicles so often these days that they're not like me. Buy it new in 1994 and I still own it in March of 2024. Anyway, next we'll pull that off and start looking at the camshaft and timing chain. Now I had this apart, I think, I don't know, probably 12 years ago, and there was like virtually no wear on the timing chain, and there's been very few miles on here since 2010 or 2008, something like that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Okay, I use this pull the harmonic balancer and have the timing chain now exposed, and these bolts were the ones that hold it, and they're, I don't know, it's 16 millimeter on the main bolt, 16 millimeter for that, and the puller is also 16 millimeter, and the bolts holding it, I think those are probably M10 by 1, and not sure. I like to tell you and these are all 10 millimeter holding the timing chain cover on, and 15 millimeter. Yeah, that's what it is. 15 millimeter for that. 16 millimeter. Well, that's 14 millimeter. Yeah, okay, the 3 bolts that's holding it on is 14 millimeter, and I think those are M10 by 1. And I'm gonna pick up some more of those, because when I did the puller I had these bolts here that I think are M10 by 30 flange type head hardened steel times 1, and I only had 2 of those, so I need 3. So I need to pick up a few more of those. Those look like 30 millimeter long. But anyway, with playing around with the cylinders, I'm looking for a reason to do the bearings and rings. I'm looking for an excuse. But to do that, of course, I have to pull the engine. Now, of all 6 cylinders, number 6 seems to have the most play in it, beating it with the dead blow hammer, and I think it's at the bottom of the travel, because when you're going clockwise with it, at the bottom of that would be pulling it back down again. So at the top, TDC is where, or not TDC, because you're pushing up on it, but at the bottom of the travel is where you beat on it with the hammer, which justifies the long shape of it on the dead blow. But anyway, with the fuel relay removed, fuel pump, it must be removed. You could also unplug it at the mid frame connector of the fuel pump, but that would disable your reading on the fuel level and peg the meter, which I don't want to stress my meters, so I don't know who would repair these days. You say, well, let's see, fuel pressure, fuel's already pegged. Anyway, I don't want gasoline squirting when I do this, but I'm going to show you what happens when I crank it over. You hear the puck sound from number 6. So, and beating it with the hammer, I'm going to get as close as I can to this on number 6. I think that's my noise. Now, as to which on this bank is doing it, I'm not sure yet. I think it's number 6. So anyway, people, and I'm going to replace the transmission cooler lines, because they're really rusty underneath the engine. I'm going to do that too. So I'm probably going to go ahead and pull the radiator and the core for the air conditioner too, and I may service the core while it's out if I can get a way to rent a refrigerator core flush out. I think O'Reilly rents it. So anyway, I'll work on getting the camshaft out. Okay, still looking at the 1994 Astro van, trying to find the source of the noise. At this point, I got the balance shaft seems to be fine. I don't see any problem at all with that. I've got the gear from the camshaft removed, and at this point the camshaft should just come out once I get this retainer off of it. It should just come out. But again, you don't want gas shooting everywhere, so with the fuel pump relay removed, so no power for the fuel pump, I'm trying to determine, you know, after I get the camshaft out, the next thing would be to remove one piston at a time till the noise goes away. My guess would be number 6 needs love, but let's see what happens. I don't know what's making that noise, but I hear it on the right bank. I don't hear it on the left bank, and because of this Summit Racing SL32 hammer, it's got a real long my guess would be that it's with the piston fully down. You want to beat on it to see if there's any play. They all have some play, but 6 seems to be the worst as I test it. Well, next step is I'm going to try to get that camshaft out. Okay, video documentary, video diary. Dennis Seatsma, Dennis John Seatsma Productions, Homestead, Florida. Do-it-yourself work is at your own risk. Death or injury can result. I made a mistake here. I was cranking this thing over. I was pouring some heavy oil into each cylinder, trying to see if that helped me isolate it to a particular cylinder, and it looked like number 2 is the noisy one, not number 6. So about that time I noticed a spark in this positive cable that goes from the starter to the positive side of the battery was hitting something ground, and so I need to tape that up real good with vinyl insulating tape if I'm going to carry on. But during the spark, I think I blew something up. I need like a fused link behind the battery. Might have failed. You see I got all these fused links here, so I'll have to test those one at a time, see if I can't ferret that out. But anyway, this retainer has to be removed. There's a screw here and a screw here. Those look like Torque-X screws, and they're probably hardened steel, so you want a substantial Torque-X, not just El Cheapo. And I got a good set of them, so I got to go fetch that to get that retainer off, and then the camshaft ought to slipped out. After that, I'm going to look at the cylinders again, one at a time, if I get my electrical thing sorted, and figure out what cylinder is causing the noise. And I think it's number 2 at this point. So, video diary, video documentary, thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, you want to see the noise it was making and the oil pressure fluctuating. I don't know why taking one spark plug off at a time couldn't help me isolate that to a cylinder, but it didn't. And I didn't feel any rod knock in it, but anyway, if you look at the video diary for January 14th at 1:29 in the afternoon, in the PM, and go fast forward 10 minutes into the video, you'll see the engine noise. And a little bit deeper in the video, after I replaced the electrical sender, you could see it showing up on the meter on the gauge for the vehicle. So, video diary, go back in time. I've got these organized on my playlist with the most recent video at the top of the playlist, and it lets you to go back in time from the present on back in the video diary just by letting it play, if I have it set up right. Thanks for watching. Okay, it's Saturday, March 9th, 2024. Video diary, video documentary, video log. Dennis Seatsma, Dennis John Seatsma production. Homestead, Florida, USA. Got the camshaft out. Don't see a thing wrong with it. It's not even worn. I doubt there's anything wrong with the lifters. I doubt there's anything wrong with the oil pump. Of course, when I decide what to do, and I haven't decided yet, I'll get an expert opinion on everything. But as of this date and time, I'm looking at the number 2 piston for rod knock. Something's making that noise in the video. January 14th, 2024. Around 2 in the afternoon. There's 2 videos there. About 10 minutes in, you can see and hear the rod knock, or the noise, and the oil pressure fluctuating. So something's causing that, and I think it's a piston rod bearing that's failing. That's what I think. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to loosen the driver's side engine mount that needs replacement, and tomorrow, maybe, if weather permitting, I'll start removing one piston at a time until I find, see what's going on with that. So again, thanks for watching.